What's up, YouTube? Hey, I want to share a quick video with you guys. I'm in the process of doing a LED instrument upgrade for a 2004 Dodge Ram SLT. Um, I'm not sure what models this applies to. If it's '04 to, you have to just look up your particular model. But this is what the back of the cluster looks like on an '04 Ram. And one, two things I discovered is there's a hidden screw and a hidden bulb. So there's actually 11 bulbs instead of 10. So initially when you're looking at it, this box right here, this keyless entry box goes here. And it covers that hidden bulb and it also covers that screw. So when you're looking at it, without even taking it off, this is what you're looking at. And you just assume that there's 10 bulbs, but there's not. So what I did was I took this keyless entry box off, and then I took all those Torx bit screws off, and then that comes off, and then you have to take off that hidden Torx bit screw as well, and then this whole entire back piece just pops off, and then it gives you access to the circuit board. Another thing that I did was on the LED here, and you can see on some of them, I marked the negative side with a black marker. I don't know if you can pick that up. I marked it with a black marker so that way I'll know if a bulb burns out. I already know the orientation of the bulb. I won't have to guess and play the, flip it around game. So, I don't know if that camera's picking it up, but I marked them. You can see that one right there. I marked the top of it too on some of them. That one right there, I marked it. So that way, if one of the bulbs burns out, I already know how to put it in. I won't have to assume I got it in right and then turn it around. So the bulbs in here are a B8.5D. You can get those from Super Bright LEDs, Amazon, eBay. I got mine from Amazon and eBay, and I bought them from all three places. And quite frankly, man, they all look identical. I mean, there's no specific markings on which one is better. I think they're all the same. They get them probably from the same manufacturer, probably made in China somewhere. So, they all look exactly the same. Let me come down here to this one. So here's the halogen bulb. This is the one that came out of the vehicle right there. And if you can see those tabs, you have to see how those tabs are bent down right there. So on this brand new LED, this is so the one I'll be replacing it with is a B8.4D, and the 4D has a shorter length. It's almost identical to the halogen one. So if you look at the tabs there, you see how open those tabs are? You have to bend those pins down right here. Right there. You got to bend those pins down to make it look like the halogen. Right there. So that pin's really high. See that? You got to bend those pins down. And I also did the same thing there too. I marked it with a black marker on the negative side. So that's just a little tip I just did on my own. But I want to share it with you guys. That way, if you guys are in the process of doing this and you want to do it and you think, it's really that hard, it's not. It's very easy to do. I will say be patient when you're removing your trim plastic pieces, because those tabs, they are very sensitive, and the more times you take them off and put them back on, like I said, this is probably like my maybe 6 or 7 time doing it to get it right. But if you're able to get the pin outs on the white cluster and the gray cluster, then you can bench test it out like this, and then you can mimic like you're going to turn on your lights and it'll illuminate all the LEDs, and then they all work, and then you can just put it back in, and you won't even have to go through the process of connecting it back, plugging it in, seeing which ones work, making a note, come back, turn, so that's why I marked them with the black marker right there. You can see it. That's why I marked it with a black marker, so I'll know which side's the negative side, and then I'll know once I start initially putting them in and taking them off, then I'll know the orientation of the bulb, and then I won't have to guess anymore. And then for the future reference, if one of the bulbs burns out, then I can go ahead and just put the correct bulb in, a new one. And since I've already got it marked negative, all I got to do is pay attention to how the other one was in there and put it in the exact same way, and then I'll know that the bulb is going to light up, because I'll know which side's negative and which side's positive. So that was for, for future reference. I will say too, just buy extra bulbs. I mean, they're fairly cheap. I'd say buy, I bought like a 20 pack, and some of them you might mess up trying to turn them in there, because those pins on the LEDs, aftermarket ones, they're very, very thin, and they're very flimsy. So if you crank too hard on them, or with the needle nose, or however you're gonna do it, you will break a couple of those pins off, because I did. And if you order only 11 and you break one, now you're gonna be stuck, either not driving the vehicle if it's your daily, or if it's a project car, then you've got time to order more in. But initially, I'd order extra on hand and keep them on hand, because eventually these will burn out. So only time will tell of how long they last. So it's good to have extra on hand, and then it's good to also mark them too ahead of time. That way, like I said before, going back to when one burns out, if you have to take it off again, it'll be very simple to plug a bulb back in. So hopefully it'll be, with a long time of not having to change these bulbs out. But I've ordered from all three sites, and they just, to me, they all look the same. Whether the quality is exactly the same, I don't know, but just from the naked eye, I mean, all of them look identical. So so there's the one. So the one that I have in there now is the B8.4D, and if you can see it on the back, it's a lot longer than what the 4D looks like. The 4D looks exactly like it's very short. So what was happening was, when I had my keyless entry box here, when I plugged it in, it was sitting crooked like this, because this one here was sticking out too high, so it wasn't allowing it to sit completely flush. I mean, it was in, but it was kind of crooked. So what happened is I pushed it in, and it pushed the LED in, so it probably bent the tabs a little bit, so the tabs aren't making good connection. So it was kind of flickering off and on, and it kind of turned on when it wants, or I'd kind of bang on the dash a little bit, and then it would turn on, then it would turn off. So I'm taking it off again, and I've ordered the B8.4D, so that way I can go ahead and plug my keyless entry box back in, and it'll sit all the way flush, and I won't have to worry about that. So there it is, guys. 2004 Dodge Ram 1500 SOT. This is the back of the instrument cluster gauge. The part numbers for the LEDs are a B8.4D and a B8.5D. They both work, because I've tried both of them. So like, again, you can get them on super bright LEDs, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay. My suggestion would be order more than 11, because you're probably going to need it. If you use 11 and get them all right, then good for you, man. You'll have extra on hand in case they burn out. But yeah, this is what the back of it looks like. So I just wanted to share this video and make one for anybody that's looking to do this upgrade, and that's kind of hesitant. But here it is. All right, guys, thanks for watching.